Hi, my name is Sadie Thompson-Ashworth and I am a clinical charge nurse working at Florence Ward in Lambeth. I'm here to talk to you today to talk a little bit about well-being and exercise and sort of just staying healthy and how that has really helped me. And so I'll start off telling you a little bit about my journey. So 5 or so years ago, I actually weighed 100 pounds more than I do now today. So I was around sort of 340-ish pounds, very depressed, really dejected, didn't really feel like I could do anything about it. And I actually spent a long time not even realising how big I had actually gotten. Didn't know why my body was hurting in the morning when I was waking up and why my feet were sore and why I felt tired all the time. And it wasn't actually until my auntie took a photograph of me where I actually saw myself and I thought, oh my God, I really need to do something about this. And then I kind of spent a long time after that feeling really upset, obviously noticing how big I was and not really knowing how to go about it. And I think for a little while after recognising how much weight I had put on, I probably felt a little bit lower actually, because I just thought of exercise and fitness as this mountain to climb. You know, you see all of these posts on social media about people hitting the gym twice a day, 5 days a week, and they look amazing. And I couldn't relate to that. And I definitely had some self-esteem issues, I think. You know, I felt very shy, very nervous. The thought of going to the gym was absolutely terrifying to me. I just thought that I'd step into the gym and everyone would burst into laughter. But I decided to challenge myself and to actually start making small changes, you know, going for walks, for example, changing my diet. I think a lot of the time, especially in the beginning, I wasn't honest with myself and I wasn't honest with the sort of lifestyle that I was leading. You know, doing simple things like starting a food journal was actually really useful for me. And then I lost a little bit of weight and people started to notice and they started to comment, and I was getting a lot of positive feedback, and that was actually really good for me. It was really good for my mental health. It was really good for my self-esteem. And then after another sort of 50-60 pounds, people were like, oh, you know, you seem happier. You're actually turning into a different person. And that again just continued to spur me on. After I lost about 80 pounds, I was actually at the point where I was not just sort of getting into exercise, but I was actually starting to feel really confident in my abilities and confident in my body and my strength and what I could actually do. Because to carry 340 pounds around for a long time, you're actually a really strong person. Your muscles are incredibly strong to have to carry that amount of weight. So all of my lack of strength was psychological. And once I had trained myself to recognise that the sky was literally my limit, I banded together a bunch of people from like uni and work and decided to do a Tough Mudder for charity. So we did one for Mind and we raised over £1,000 for Mind, which was a really big thing for me. I was really, really proud of myself. It was something I had organised you know, start to finish, and it was a bit of a defining moment for me in my weight loss and also my personal development and the development of my self-confidence and just sort of belief in my abilities. So moving forward into the future and sort of where we are now, I had just got into a bit of a maintenance routine where I actually wanted to lose another sort of 50 or so, 40-50 pounds, but I kind of got a little bit, I don't want to say lazy, but a bit complacent. You know, I was fairly comfortable with my body, fairly comfortable with my fitness level, And it wasn't until the beginning of this year where I had another kick up the bottom, health-wise, and it was when my mum actually received a quite a severe cancer diagnosis right at the beginning of COVID in March, and that really just absolutely rocked me, because my dad also was quite ill last year, and it just made me realise that, you know, these people, my parents, they fairly young in the grand scheme of things, they are suffering and they're sick and they're ill. They're smoking, they're not taking care of themselves. And I promised myself that I wouldn't do that anymore. And it was the challenge to myself to make sure that I held myself accountable. And that, again, especially through COVID, has been something that has kept me going. You know, being able to make sure that I'm going for runs, that I'm going to the gym when it was open. I was going swimming, started taking on new activities, and it just it's so much better for me, and it makes me really energetic and just ultimately a much happier person. And knowing that I'm taking really positive steps to take care of my physical health just makes me a much nicer person to be around, and means I get to play with all my godchildren, which is lovely because there are loads of them.
Thank you, Sadie. That's amazing. So it sounds like, I mean, you've been on a hell of a journey from, you know, from being 340 pounds 5 years ago. But it sounds like it started with the small changes and you built on that. And over time, you've lost a lot of weight. It made you feel better physically. It gave you back some confidence, self-confidence. Psychologically, mentally, you felt better. And you started challenging yourself a bit more, and more recent with the personal experience with your family that even pushed you harder. But thank you so much for joining me today and sharing those experiences. Thank you.
You're welcome.